This is episode 403 of Alohomora for June 8th, 2024. Welcome to another episode of Alohomora, the fandom's original Harry Potter book club. I'm Grace Candido Beecher.
I'm Shamini Willis.
And I'm Jeff Hutton. And today we are joined by a very special guest, a creator, an author, an actor from the Noble House of Black fan series. Please welcome Sasha Sloan. Sasha, welcome to our show.
Thank you so
Hooray.
much. I'm very happy to be here.
Yay! Can I just say,
Also, your name is so fun to say.
Not to freak out. I've been watching your stuff on TikTok and I had no idea.
Oh, no
Your
way.
stuff's incredible.
Thank you so much. You're so nice.
And your name is
this
so
is the
fun
thing.
to say. Like, that's a name when you go into
really
auditions
is.
and stuff. That's
It
gonna
feels
pop.
like a
People are
Marvel
gonna remember that.
character. You feel like a protagonist from a Marvel series, is what I'm saying.
It's the alliteration of
my
it
gosh,
all. That's
thank
why it feels
you.
like a Marvel character.
It's like you should walk in, I am Sasha Sloan. It's very cool.
And then a little wind for your hair.
Yeah, like your hair's blowing.
Sparkles in the back.
Oh my
Now
gosh,
it's a
I can
Bollywood
feel my
movie.
self-esteem rising with this conversation.
Yes. So for anybody who
Thank you,
does
guys.
not know, tell us about you.
So, I am born and raised in Salt Lake City, Utah. I was very into Harry Potter as a kid, kind of fell out of my Harry Potter phase as a teenager. And then during the pandemic, I was staying at my parents' house with myself, my sister, and my cousin. And all three of us are professional performers. The two of them were working for Disney at the time, but we were all unemployed while the parks were shut down. And we had the very crazy idea to start making a little TikTok series about the three sisters of House Black, so Bellatrix, Andromeda, and Narcissa. And what started as just a couple of little TikToks has spiraled into, I think now more than 2 hours worth of episode footage following those sisters through the 1970s and 80s during Voldemort's initial rise to power.
I love
That's
it.
incredible.
That is so
cool. As much as I would love to talk about Slytherin all day, that's not quite what we're talking about here today, are we? We're going into Half-Blood Prince's chapter 15, The Unbreakable Vow. The original episode that discussed this was episode 133, called Ships and Cannons, from April 18th, 2015. Oh my god. With hosts Rosie, Michael, Caleb, and guest at the time, but the one and only Allison, who we know as a main host.
Who wants to go to the most awkward Christmas party ever?
Woo,
baby.
can't wait.
Let's go.
That's what's
Let's
about
do
to
it.
happen. Grace,
It's a
hit
very
it.
pretty thing that they go to. All right. Harry desperately tries to remain friends with both Ron and Hermione, despite the fact that they're both in the midst of sucking very badly, or rather acting like teenagers. Romilda Vane attempts and fails to maliciously drug Harry. Harry does one of the smartest things he's ever done in his life and invites Luna to Slughorn's drunken Christmas party. After seeing Ron swap spit with Lavender for too long, Hermione snaps and invites resident frat boy Cormac McLagan in an effort to piss Ron off. And after a wee bit of Yuletide partying, Draco tries to crash the party, but is speedily caught. Hidden away in a secluded classroom, Draco endures a bit of scolding by Professor Snape. But even in a hidden room, they cannot hide away from the prying ears of Mr. Invisibility Cloak Extraordinaire Harry Potter.
Dun dun dun.
He's got two moves, Invisibility Cloak and Expelling Armus. That's what he's got. Now,
That's all he's got.
because there is a lot of Ron stuff that takes place in the chapter, people might be expecting me to go in on Ron, and I will, but we'll get to that in a moment. I want to start off with
And you've
something...
expected correctly. I will be doing
Yes.
this.
If there's one thing I am all about, it is living up to society's expectations of me. But before we do that, we are going to talk about one of my favorite things and the interesting way in which it gets treated in this chapter. I am a huge fan of the Hogwarts at Christmas time aesthetic. Whenever we get to these chapters in the first 6 books, it's always something that I look forward to. In the book before this one, we don't really get that quite so much because they get kind of whisked away before all the Christmas decorating really happens. And in this one, I start by thinking, I know he's this big hulking guy who can carry a lot more than the average person, but why is Hagrid the only one bringing in these Christmas trees? Shouldn't he have like a little crew of volunteers helping him?
That's his like arm exercises for the day. He's just showing off. That's what he's doing.
So instead of lifting weights, he lifts trees.
He lifts trees and
I mean,
badly
you think
keeps
they make
secrets,
weights
our
big
Hagrid.
enough for Hagrid? No.
No.
Like
lifts
he
his
comes
entire
out of the
life, that's what he
woods
does.
wearing a giant tank top that says "Bro, do you even Leviosa?" I've
Oh
literally
my
seen this tank
gosh.
top at gyms. I have seen this; it exists.
The tank top
I'm
he
just
has is,
saying
wish
that he
because
should
I
have,
wanna
like-
eat more. Which is what I would wear, honestly.
I'm just saying that this is something the prefects should be doing. They should be. I think in one of the other books they even mention that the prefect's job is helping to supervise the decoration of the Great Hall. But still, that's like decorating committee stuff. You can help haul some trees. And
I feel the same way about Filch. It's kind of funny to me how all the other teachers at Hogwarts just let the two of them do all the manual labor. And like,
And it's a huge
use
castle,
magic
like-
to help them out, but I feel like it's kind of a little rude, you know?
They have like
in
they
Filch's
can do
case, if you help-
Scourgify.
I mean, with Filch, physical labor is the only thing he can do. So if you help him, you're kind of taking
Yeah.
away his reason to be. Whereas with Hagrid, he can do magic. He's just not supposed to.
I would like to talk about the Christmas aesthetic in the castle
Yeah.
though, because it's like this. I feel like this series is the reason why I fell so in love with Dark Academia, which, like Sasha, I feel like you appreciate as well.
Yes.
And your pick of 3 protagonists from like a directly Dark Academia background.
Yes.
But like it's like Dark Academia, but you throw some like Yuletide mistletoe and like pine branches on top of it, and that is, I feel like, a Hogwarts Christmas. I feel like it's a little bit warmer in the actual castle, but in my brain it's a little bit more like that's the Slytherin common room. I know that was written somewhere in the notes, but do the common rooms do like their own celebration? I feel like that's the Slytherin common room aesthetic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like that's something that should
Like
definitely
this-
be happening. Each of the houses should have. It's like this was part of the school experience for me. Was like in free period or like when you're in grade school, your classroom, like you have your own little Christmas or holiday celebration amongst yourselves. You know, maybe you do a Secret Santa kind of thing before you all go home for the holidays. Like all the houses should be doing that. That'd be cute.
Oh, it's so
You
cute.
know, the Hufflepuffs would have
I agree.
the best like Christmas cakes and stuff because they could actually make them instead of just stealing them from the kitchen.
For sure.
I feel like the
They get-
Slytherin common room would be something to see with like skulls, but Santa hats on them.
It's something for a darker sense of humor, right? Like skulls with the hats on them, and like a lot
It
of
makes-
snakes, but they have like little like mistletoe hung under their little chins or something.
Or they
Like
light up.
somebody makes a little Krampus statue. Or like they do Belschnickel, like they basically like Slytherin embraces like the darker side of the Christmas aesthetic. Like Belschnickel comes in like on The Office. I've always
The
wanted
Yule
to go to
cat
a
is
Christmas party where
there,
yeah,
and the Yule lads are in the background, like being the band or something.
It gives
No,
the
we'll circle-
vibes of Grimmauld Place where they have the Christmas hats on the on the
Yes.
house elf heads. Kind of like that.
Exactly.